Hello everyone and welcome back to A Bit Tactical, where today I've got another episode of Whiteshield to Kasrkin, my journey to becoming a better player in hopes that during the tournament in August for the Lone Star Open, I can do fairly well in it. Now, this episode is going to be hopefully a little different, hopefully a little quicker, or at the very least talking more about the guide portion where I actually examine how to be better and less on the actual game itself, because it's not a battle report, it is just an after action report, and I feel like the lessons learned are probably more important. However, one thing I do want to ask is, in terms of visuals, what do you guys want to see? Because right now I'm kind of treating this like it's almost a podcast where you guys are listening to it in the background while you do whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to have like a little bit of a slideshow going on here where I show the few pictures that I did take. I just show those to you guys. However, I'll be honest, I didn't even take a picture of the map. I'm going to display a picture of the map we were on. It's like the grid map, like the one that you get from the data cards. But yeah, and other than that, that's all that's going to be in the video for right now. I do want to add something, because I enjoy the other videos that I have visuals in more. I enjoy making those more than this one, because this one is really just a lot of yapping. But yeah, just let me know in the comments what you would want to see as opposed to what you're seeing right now. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's start with the equipment and the team that I brought. So for the equipment, I brought everything but the daggers for the Kasrkin. So I bought the long range scope, the foregrip, and the relics of Kadia. I also, again, I brought everybody, all the specialists and the gunners, except for the marksman. I had my hot shot volley gun instead of the marksman. My opponent brought in the Plague Marines with the fighter, the normal marine, the champion, the icon bearer, the sorcerer, and the grenadier. He left his gunner at home. And I believe he brought all his faction equipment except for one, which was replaced by ladders. Alright, now here's the map. Now going into the mission, what I wanted to do, when the mission was extraction, here's the rule for the extraction. So my thoughts here were, again, I'm going to play KG for my kill op, or I made my primary my kill op, and then my attack op champion, so that I could, again, focus on the killing like I did in my last two games anyways, feeling that that would have probably been the better way to go with this match, get more points, hopefully get the win, right? That was my strategy going in, and I wanted to be KG because bringing him out I thought would have been to my advantage and his disadvantage, especially with that 5-inch movement, which can be really detrimental, especially if you set things in front of him, which I did. I placed my barricades in a way that would make charging me very difficult, again, especially with the movement, that 5-inch movement. So, without further ado, let's get right into the battle with Turning Point 1. Alright, so Turning Point 1 was basically us just moving up, me being very cagey on the right side of the board or on the bottom side from your guys' perspective. Right here, I basically just kept 3 gunners, actually. Well, it would turn out to be 2, but it would be the majority of my gunners on this side of the board. Down here, along with my Vox Trooper and my Demo Trooper. Turning Point 1, I did bring up my Demo Trooper and put his mine right here just to stave off a charge that I was feeling was going to happen. But other than that, the only other significant portion that happened during this turning point is that I moved up my plasma gunner into the very center where I put up a barricade. Now, the reason I did that was 2 things. One, I didn't care if my plasma gunner died. I wanted my opponent to either expose himself in the attempt to kill him, charge him, whatever. Everybody else I felt like had a more useful task, even my Demo Trooper, because I had a specific thing I wanted him to do. But if he died, that was also okay. Or if I won initiative, I could charge forward with the plasma gunner, take a shot, and then go from there. Either case was okay with me, so that's why I charged him up really aggressively in the first turning point. Everybody else on the left side was within the stronghold. My Auspic Scan got himself into a nice little corner. In fact, the same one that I did during the tournament for my Foxbreaker for San Antonio with my Phobos Strike team. And it worked just as well in this game as well. But that's the only thing that really happened in the turning point. He also pushed up pretty evenly across the board, had everybody very close to the center line. Now, turning point 2 is obviously where things got a little more interesting. First things first, I won initiative. I played Elimination Pattern, and I played Clearance Sweep because I knew I was going to get a shot that I really wanted to go off well. So what I did is I placed it in a place that I thought maybe somebody else could get a shot in, but knowing that I would be able to move it later on with my Sergeant. So I wasn't too worried about its placement. I just wanted to get that first shot in. And then I also used Relocate. I actually did it through the wall. I didn't move anybody else other than my Plasma Gunner just to give him even more movement when it came to actually charging in and getting the shot off. So then that's the first thing that I did, is he was already exposed, so I might as well do it. And I got really lucky. I got a kill, a one-shot kill against a Plague Marine. I believe it wasn't his fighter. I believe it was his champion. I'm not sure. I don't remember who it was, but I did kill him, which felt really good. Yeah, it just felt really good. I think he whiffed his roll a little bit, and then I got really lucky with my roll. I did use Clearance Sweep. It turned out to be really useful. That's ceaseless, getting able to have 2 rerolls, which I believe is what I did. And then I rolled hot, which I don't really do, and that worked out well for me. I think 2 of my dice rolls were 5s, and so I got 3 crits and a hit. So yeah, he ended up dying from that, which was really good on my part. Again, with this, I just want to go through the notable parts for you. He did move up a few of his people. Number 1, he captured the middle point. That's what he did. Now we were playing Extraction. So I captured my home objective next, and then he captured his home objective, making that the extracted objective, right? Not really too sure on how Extraction works. I think this is the first time I played. No, I think I played it before. I just don't have a good memory of it. But now, nobody else can score it again. He just has to get that extracted point, and it's his home objective, so it's, pretty smart on his part. At this point, this is when we start exchanging kills a little bit. Him more so than me, right? What he does is he charges up with, I believe it's the guy with the maul, against my elite trooper, who at that point I hadn't done anything with. I did think about doing it beforehand, but instead decided to go for the objective, which, it always feels bad when you knew you were going to do something, and if you had done it, it would have changed the game, and then you didn't do it, and things turn out the way they did. So he charges him, kills him, and now he's in like a prime position to get a double kill, a nice double kill. I then move up my Sergeant. I move the Clearance Sweep token over so that when my Demo Trooper can activate, he can get a good shot and get, ceaseless on his roll with a crack grenade against a Plague Marine. So then I move up my Sergeant up onto Vantage, and I shoot at him with my normal, with his pistol, right? But he's got Elimination Pattern going, so I felt pretty good. And I actually did get him down to about 7 or 8 health, something like that. No, actually, I think it was actually a ridiculously good shot. I think he was down to 5 health, just with the pistol. Again, I think he whiffed his roll, which allowed me to get a lot of damage through, which was really nice. Here's the big problem, and here's where I messed up big time. On one side of my board, I've got 2 of my gunners. On the left side, I had already moved up with my hotshot volley gun, and I didn't do anything with him. I should have moved somebody else. I should have activated other people instead of my hotshot volley gun, because then I could have finished him off, right then and there, right? I could have finished him off right there if I had just stalled a bit longer, gone with all of my specialists, and then with my gunners, which is I think the new way I'm going to do it, especially against elite teams, where if I just be a little bit patient, I can definitely guarantee that I get the most optimum choices throughout the match, which is what I should have done. Because if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't gone with my hotshot volley gun, he could have taken a shot and probably finished him off. 5 attacks, I would have been on vantage. I think accurate 2 at that point, so I would have gotten accurate 2. 3, yeah, it's a very good likelihood that I would have killed him in turning point 2, which again could have changed a lot. So not only that, again, I realized that at this point I had a lot of my firepower, especially my Melta and my grenade launcher, on the right side of the board, not really doing anything because I was too scared to move up. So another thing that I realized at this point is if I had set up something in the middle, instead of just setting up my barricades to block off charges, which they did do, right? I think that if I hadn't set my barricade, he probably would have moved up a lot earlier. Well, not earlier, but he would have been able to do a different charge. Instead, he did the one that he did, and it didn't end up being too bad for him. But I do know that blocking that off, especially with his movement, caused him to change his strategy. So that's at least something. But as it was, even though I had 3 models, maybe even 4 at this point, still left to go, they couldn't take on this guy on my side of the board at all. They just couldn't. They didn't have the movement to get there. They didn't have the angle. Nothing I could do to actually damage this guy, which again, big problem on my end for getting that. Not only that, at this point, credit to my opponent here, I was just having fun. We were joking and laughing. Things were just, I was excited about doing stuff, so I wasn't really getting sweaty as I should have been. As stupid as that sounds, I knew I was like losing interest in the competitive angle, and I was just having fun. Especially with my next move, because what I did is I activated my demo trooper and I ran forward, right, with a crack grenade, and I threw it at, I think, his grenadier. Now, the grenadier didn't die, but he did take a bit of damage. I think he got down to 6 health, maybe 9. Not sure on the specifics of that, but he did damage, which is all that I wanted my demo trooper to do. Now, it's at this point that what I should have done here is moved up my 2 gunners to 2 different sides of the board so that they have more angles on everybody. I should have moved my Melta gun. In fact, I was already measuring out to do it to the center of the board, even if it's still on my side, on my spawn. Just gives him more angles to shoot from, right? Especially with a 3rd APL, and I should have moved my grenade launcher up again to have better angles. Didn't do either of those. Very unfortunate on my part. I just moved up my grenade launcher a little bit when I really should have moved him up a lot of bit. And then from there, I kept my melted gun actually right where he was. The bottom right corner, from your guys' perspective, I'll circle it right here. That's where I kept him. Turning point 2, he didn't do anything. So, very unfortunate. Now, of course, at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. One model of his is dead. Another model of his is pretty dead. And at this point, only, one of mine is dead? So, not feeling too bad about that. And going to turning point 3, I'm up 2 VPs. On the kill order, I believe I'm also up 2 VP. And he only had on the crit up, he didn't even get anything for his top. So I'm feeling pretty good going into turning point 3. Oh, 2 models. I lost 2 models, of course. My plasma gunner, he did die. At one point, I thought he was going to survive because he got shot once. And he actually survived that pretty handily. But then my opponent was like, well, actually, I'm just going to shoot him twice. So I was hoping to maybe pull out, another situation with the plasma gunner where he survives where he shouldn't have. But, of course, that didn't happen. He died like I thought he would. But again, going to turning point 3, I'm feeling pretty good. Now, turning point 3 is where everything starts to fall apart, okay? All right, so he does win initiative, right? And what I do is I relocate my medic just a bit further so that he has to... Because before, he could have just double charged my recon trooper and my medic. But now what I did is I used relocate. I pushed my recon trooper a little bit closer to the objective, which was useless. I shouldn't have done that because it was a misreading of the rules on my part. But then I pushed my medic closer to his opponent, to my opponent, to his model, just so that if he were to charge above, one, he couldn't charge from one side because he couldn't land the model, but on the other side, he couldn't do it and get anywhere else. He would have to charge my medic, which is what I wanted him to do. So that happened and it was good. But then, of course, he went and he had two choices: kill the demo trooper or get a double kill, right? So, and that's what he does. He charges my medic. My medic dies. I think does a little bit of damage. Gets him down to, like, nothing health, I think. And then he throws a blight grenade at my sergeant, right? Now, at that point, I'm like, oh, God. So he does, in fact, kill my sergeant. And I was like, oh, that's not something I was expecting him to go for the recon trooper. Didn't, though. Straight up killed the sergeant. Which sucked because one of my strategy ploys that I played for turning point 3 was clear and sweep again, because I thought I was going to have the opportunity to move it. Clearly, though, that didn't happen. So then I go with my demo trooper, and I just shoot another frag grenade. No reason not to. And I kill the grenadier. So that model's dead. And the guy that he just went with, that he charged and killed my sergeant with, obviously I already considered him dead. So I was like, okay, that's 3 of his Plague Marines dead. And then I just charge block one of his Marines, just so that he has little option to do anything other than fight me and then move somewhere, right? So I do that. He then activates, I think, that Marine, kills my demo trooper. I think I do 1 thing of damage, and then he retreats back away from me, which was actually very smart on his part. Now this is where I messed up. So I activated my grenade launcher, who had 3 APL from my Vox Trooper last turning point, right? And I move him up to shoot that captain. And he does shoot that captain. However, this just, like, gives such a good opportunity for my opponent. So I shoot the captain, and I actually kind of whiff the roll. Not kind of, I do whiff the roll. And it doesn't go well for me. And I don't do much damage at all. I think I did maybe 1 point of damage for 4, which would have bring him down to 11 health. Not as much as I would have wanted to do, right? Now, a few things here. Number 1, again, I'm having fun, so I'm not getting as sweaty. But I should be as sweaty, okay, if I'm trying to prepare for a tournament. I don't use Relics Acadia. I could have used it, and I should have used it. Not once throughout the entire game did I use it, and that's going to be very apparent soon. So that's one thing. Number 2, though, is that I exposed this guy, and he still has 1 activation left. So he immediately goes with, I believe, his sorcerer, and he brings him up, and he shoots at this guy, and he just wipes him off, right? Then he just keeps him there. Then I go with my hotshot volley gun, take a shot up the captain, and again, I don't do much damage. I think I may get him down to 6 health, something like that, 6, 7 health. I think it was 7 health. Not that much damage through, considering the 5 shots and the piercing 1, but that's them's the whatevers. Again, didn't use accurate 2, which I would have had. And I didn't use Relics Acadia. So, it's just not good. It's just not good. I think I used Neutralized Target earlier with my Recon Trooper. I think I used it earlier, so I couldn't use that. But Relics Acadia was something I could have used for both of those shots, and I didn't. And on one of those, I could have used Accurate 2, which I didn't, which is a huge mistake. He then he counteracts, right, with his other, because I still have people left to go. He counteracts with his Sorcerer again shoots my guy, and that counteract got him down to 1 health, but now he's poisoned, so the next time he activates, he dies. And I have no medic left to do anything. So turning point 3 just went real bad for me. And again, my melted gun is in a really bad position. He can't get to anybody, even with a charge and a dash, right? Unless he's exposed. And that's what I do. I charge him and dash him as much as I can, but he's just kind of exposed. And now, or he's not exposed. I put him in a safe position, but looking back on it, I should have had him exposed a little bit. I think maybe, no, I don't think I could have. His fighter would have been in a good position to move. Even if I won initiative, it would be fine. But if I didn't, it wouldn't be fine. And I wouldn't be able to do anything. And I kind of thought I knew what he was going to do, right? Going into turning point 4. And at this point, I think the score is more tied up. But still, things could potentially be good for me, depending on one shot. So let's just go into turning point 4. Now, turning point 4, I didn't use any ploys. Well, actually, sorry, that's not true. I used elimination pattern. I had the CP. At this point, I think I had 3 CPD because I lost initiative. So I got 2, right? Now, with that, I used 1 for elimination pattern and then decided to keep the 2 for anything, right? Command reroll or neutralize target. That's what I was thinking. I should have used it on clear and sweep. Don't know why I didn't. Really don't know why I didn't, but I should have used it on clear and sweep. Especially since I knew everybody with a hotshot las gun was not going to be doing anything. I mean, my Vox Breaker had been activated earlier to give other people APL, so he couldn't even do anything other than give APL to my melted gun. So that was unfortunate for me. Okay. So he wins initiative. He goes, right? And he charges my recon trooper, which I knew was going to happen. Kills him. He did use Cloud of Flies as a strategic ploy and places his guy good, like right on top of it. It was really good planning on his part. I then move my melted gun, right, to go through, or I activate my Vox Trooper and move the melted gun. He moves his sorcerer back down to the objective so he can have that. And then finally I have my 3 APL move with my melta, so I move him, and I'm just outside of 3 inches. Just outside of 3 inches, which would have taken away his Cloud of Flies, which means this is an obscured shot. Now, of course, it's still piercing 2, right? And it's piercing 2. I hit on 3s. My first roll, this is the game-determining roll, by the way. This is the game-determining roll. My first roll, I only get 1 hit. I think it was a 5. The rest were misses. The rest of them were misses. Inconceivable. I then neutralize target and I reroll 3 of them. Only 1 is a hit. The other 2 are misses. Now at this point, and I'd have to look at the rules. I would have to look at the rules. But I believe I can still use Relics of Cadia. Because Relics of Cadia just says if you have 2 misses, you can discard 1 and then retain the other as a hit. I don't think it says anything about rerolls. I don't think. If it does, I'm gonna put it up on a screen so that you guys can read it. But I think that is the case. So I could have used Relics of Cadia to make this 3 hits. And if I had done that, then I would have killed this model, which is going to be very important. But again, I'm not being sweaty enough, okay? I'm not locked in enough. I could have been, but I wasn't, because I was just having a good time. That's the problem with this game, is that it's really fun. And every person I've ever played with has just been really cool. So I'm just having a blast. And I'm not locked in. This isn't a game for fun. This is a game for killing things or whatever. I don't know. Point being is, I didn't get the kill. He got one save, and that save was enough to keep him alive, I think. Yeah, that save was enough to keep him alive because one damage wasn't enough to do anything. I couldn't get any crits because he was obscured. So even though one was a crit, it had to be taken down, which was just, it was so bad. Yeah. So, anyways, right? Oh, sorry. That's actually what happened. The obstruction. So I actually did get 2 rolls, but one had to be discarded. If there's one thing that Halo Reach teaches us, it's that loss, even insurmountable loss, is not always the end. Yes, this is my 3rd loss in a row on this Kasrkin channel in preparation for my tournament. But that's okay. We don't have to win every single one of them. We just have to win big in the tournament. And most importantly, we have to learn the lessons from our losses. And that's definitely something that I think I'm doing. Number 1, if you've noticed, I've used all the same equipment. And the reason I did that is because while I'm okay with proxying equipment with my friend, I'm really not okay with doing it with strangers. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating them, especially if I don't know the exact measurements and all that stuff. I don't like doing that. So I bought the equipment pack recently. I have them primed and I'm painting them so I can start using, the heavy cover and razor wire or whatever. Before, again, I was just using proxies. Didn't feel comfortable doing it without it. But now I actually have this stuff. So going forward, the equipments are going to be looking a little differently. That's number 1. Like with this map, I don't think I would have used the barricades. Probably, especially like immediately when I looked at the map and I saw the team I was facing, which was the Plague Marines, I thought, ooh, razor wire, heavy barricade. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of using razor wire and heavy barricade. I feel like that actually would have been way more detrimental to him than anything else and provided me with a little bit more cover. But obviously didn't have the access to it at the time. But now I do. So going forward, you're going to see a lot more of that. Especially because that's kind of what I told you guys to do. I know that works better. It's just I didn't have access to it. But now I do. So, yeah. The number 2 change is the order of operations here, right? So all of my specialists should be going and my normal trooper before my gunners go. My gunners are my killers unless they have a really good valid target at that moment, which if they do, I'm always going to go with that option. If they don't, go with my specialist, do stuff around them, and then go maybe with my sergeant and then with my gunners, especially against an elite team. I can wait out an elite team. I can go 4 activations without activating my gunners and still be fine. The fact that I didn't do that was actually probably the reason that I lost that game. Again, if I had gotten that kill earlier with my hotshot volley gunner on that side of the board, turning point 2, that would have been 2 of his models dead. That turning point, that means he doesn't get a double kill. That means he doesn't even get the ability to get a double kill until turning point 4, really, because he had to spend an entire movement range, turning point 3, to get his captain to where he wanted him to. And at that point, I would have had the ability to react with both my medic and my recon trooper and my sergeant. So that's 3 operatives, essentially, that could really react that I didn't have that opportunity to, because on one side of the board, I went with everybody, one of them being my gunners, and I had no reaction to him basically coming in my face. So, wait, that was worded so weird. And lesson number 3, and it's kind of a joke lesson. Listen, until I get to the tournament, I probably won't do this. Though I should practice doing it a little bit more. Being locked in or sweaty. I am taking this a little bit more seriously than I was when I originally started this channel. So, at the very least, some of my games should reflect that. I'll let you know when I do. I don't know if it'll be soon, but at some point I'll take my games more seriously, and I should do that. That is a thing that I should strive to do. But until then, we're stuck with, you guys are stuck with me having fun, okay? And yeah, and also, but this is good, okay? This is good for the whole arc, okay? The writing team right now is having me take loss after loss after loss. Tournament loss, practice losses, okay? They're building up my character so that when I get to the tournament and I win the whole thing, it's going to look amazing. It's going to be amazing. Because that's definitely what's going to happen. I'm going to win with the Kasrkin. Alright guys, that's it for me today with this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I think things are moving along. I think there's another video that's going to be coming out soon talking about the new box that might actually come out the day after this one does, just because I want to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about the rules, and my plans going forward with that, because I will be getting that box. So I think I'm going to do like a review of the box when I do finally receive it. Anyways, without further ado, I don't know why I said that. It's the end of the video. Goodbye.